I think it was Timberland. I saw an interview with him that said that if you're an artist and you're not moving with the times, you're not a good artist. You need to be aware of everything that's going on and trying new different things, challenging yourself.
Hey, you got to tune into this one all the way from South Africa. We got an amazing talent on our show today. Her name is Kat. Now check this interview out. We got really cool. We got to talk about meditation for a little bit. You guys got to see my big brain moment in this. I'm actually kind of smart. But no, very exciting. Kat is an amazing performer. I got to watch some of her TV performances thanks to her record label and promoter as well, Devo Entertainment there. So cool. Got to meet them from unlikely places and everything. And here we are. Listen closely and learn something new. This was a lot of fun. Hey everybody, this is your host, Vinyl Man Jeff, Unlikely Places, in the video format now. Brand new, finally got a webcam, got this all set up. Have an editor now, so it's easier to do all this kind of stuff. We're here with Kat today. Hey Kat, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good, excited to be speaking globally. Where are you now? Where are you calling from?
I'm in Cape Town, South Africa.
Very cool. So we're actually reaching globally. We're going further than just the UK and the US for our show, which is very cool. And we'll start right off. We'll get right into the questions and just keep going. We always have fun on this show. What got you into music?
Basically, my dad, he played Guns N' Roses to me since I was in the womb. So I've been hearing music since before I was born. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, basically him. He got me into rock from a very young age, and it grew from there. My mom was involved with theater, so I got it from that side. So both sides
Oh,
heavily
wow.
influenced me. Yeah.
So not just one side, you got both sides coming at you creatively, artistically, everything under the bun. Did it ever get overwhelming in the beginning to kind of get where you found yourself in the scene for music and all that?
The only thing that's ever been overwhelming is my love for it and my
There you go.
passion. And yeah, the it's overwhelming how much I wanted it and want to do it and love it,
Mhm.
and yeah, you can't get enough.
Oh, I understand that feeling at the radio show here. I'm a musician as well, so outside of here, I play
Yeah.
music too, and I play bars and play places. It gets to the point where you put so much into it that sometimes the light starts to fade. You get nervous, and then you're like, "Where do I go from here?" Stuff like that. But you just got to keep pushing through. Which is, I see you doing all new stuff. We get into that as well. We'll start with what was your first instrument when learning music? What did you first learn on?
So cool. No one's ever asked me that before.
Oh wow!
Yeah. No, I'm proper classically trained. I'm a pianist, so I
Oh
was
wow!
piano. Yeah, that was my first instrument. My voice, I sang since birth, but basically, piano was the first thing, and that's the instrument that I gravitate to, the one I understand the most now. I'll always go back to the piano, and I mean, Halloween now is performed on the piano, so I always find it to be the most
Ooh.
emotional, the most connection. If I've had a bad day, the only thing I want to do is go and play my piano. You can see it's actually right there behind me.
Oh, there
one,
you go.
one of
Look,
them.
we got the best part, the piano, everybody. We're gonna interview the piano now. All right, we're gonna
Okay,
interview the
sick.
piano there. But no, I have our thumbnail artist for our show is a very good classically trained pianist and guitarist. So he's been teaching me a couple of the ropes for doing that kind of stuff. And I've always a guitar is good for getting that raw anger out, but if you really just like somber about your emotions, you gotta kind of have that piano in there. So I have one, but it's like
100%.
buried behind in the closet here. So I got to get it back out. I got to start playing again. So you got into using the looper, which I find very fascinating. How did you come about finding that, and how did you make that your own sound?
Okay, so this is a story. So, no,
Perfect.
basically, I played in bands my whole life, always with other musicians and things. Like, I can play a lot of instruments, but I always wanted to be front and center, lead singer, all that kind of thing. And I didn't want to play an instrument while I did that. But then COVID happened, and then we couldn't
Ah.
meet with people, and we couldn't play shows in big bands and all of that. Also, I ended up back in South Africa during COVID, which if I
Mhm.
wanted to play shows, if you want to play shows as a band, you're going to make peanuts. But if
Yeah.
you're, yeah, but if you're a solo artist, you could make a little bit of a living. So I thought to myself, how am I going to do this? The thing is that I am not attracted to sitting and playing a guitar, an acoustic guitar, and just singing. It's not for me.
Mhm.
It has its place, and I don't diss it, but it's just not for me. So I thought, how can I get a big sound, all the instruments I love, but do it all myself? And that's how I found out about looping. Um,
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I decided I'm going to do it all myself because I can play all the instruments, but I just, you can't do it all at once. So I got a looper pedal, struggled forever, 100 different tutorials, but then I found Ableton. And got
Okay.
so I got myself an Ableton Push too, and that's when I really started to be able to craft and be able to do it properly. So yeah, without Ableton, I wouldn't be where I am or what I am today. And it's not only great for performing live; it's a great songwriting tool. Ableton's, oh, I love it so much. It's yeah, so that's basically how I got started. Was thanks to COVID. I'm a theatre school kid, so I went to theatre school from a
Hmm.
young age. So I bring the theatrics. I bring the theatrical
Ooh.
element. I'm known as a storyteller. I want to tell you. I don't want to just play you a song that you can listen to in the background. I want your attention, and I want to tell you a story.
That's
So
awesome.
that's what I try. That's what I try to do. I'll dance around. I'll make the faces. But it's more. I'll dive in with the emotion of the song and really try and make you feel that emotion. And if I can make you feel something, then I've done my job right. I just came back from tour. We toured another region in South Africa,
Wow.
KwaZulu Natal, which is not where I live. Um, so yeah, I just did a 2 week tour there. That was incredible to change cities every night and not know where we are and just get on the stage and play every night. That was incredible, and drive through some very, very, very dodgy places and basically
Ooh,
tribal
jeez.
lands and everything. It was all part of the adventure, so I absolutely loved it. No, but I grew up traveling, so traveling's in my blood.
Gotcha.
It's what I really like to do, and it's just also it's taught me so much. So I grew up in Asia. I grew up in Hong Kong, so
Oh,
I
wow.
learned. Yeah, so I learned a lot there from the music scene there. It taught me a lot, and then again, Japan. As I tell everyone, like Japan, you have to up your game, like
Hmm.
because the Japanese, whatever it is they choose to do, they do it perfectly.
Yes.
Um, yeah, so when I got on stage in Japan, it was like, do not screw this up. Like
Yeah.
you have to
There's
be
a lot of
perfect.
pressure.
and
Oh,
and the
Lord.
thing was as well, they didn't like I didn't get to just perform myself. Like they lumped me with other Japanese artists.
Oh,
So
okay.
then I was like, well, I really have to be perfect because now I'm playing with other Japanese people, and they were like, incredible. So yeah, so again, I got to take those little elements from it, and the UK as well. UK just taught me a lot about performing and a lot about dealing with like
Mhm.
bar crowds, and as I'm sure you
Yeah.
can imagine.
And
But
those are
yeah.
those are like 10 people. I can't even imagine what it's like with, more than 10 people, like 200, 300, 500, 5,000. It's like it's can't it's not it's the same dynamics, just a lot like a bigger scale. So I can't even
Mm,
imagine.
it's yeah. Just everywhere I've gone has really just taught me different things, even cultural things, musical things, all
Mhm.
sorts of things that I've been able to put in my repertoire and add to my style now to make me unique. I think it was Timberland. I saw an
Mhm.
interview with him that said that if you're an artist and you're not moving with the times, you're not a good artist. You need to be aware of everything that's going on
Yes.
and trying new different things, challenging yourself.
So I want to talk about your blog series though. Definitely.
Oh,
That was
oh,
something I
oh.
saw. That we do have.
Okay.
How did you go across doing blogs? Was what made you want to do those?
Okay, you need content. Okay, in this
Mhm.
day and age, it's like a content machine is what's needed. So
Yes.
you need
Oh,
stuff
yes.
to do, and it's like not sustainable for me to like constantly come out with new music all the time, all the time, all the time.
Yeah.
Because yeah, you can write to your heart's content, but actually putting it together, making it sound good, it takes time, and then you also got to live life, earn your money, all that jazz.
Oh, yeah.
So I decided, you know what? I'm actually a DIY artist. I do it all myself. I arrange
Mhm.
everything myself. I am part of a label, but they don't really do anything for me.
Oh,
So
jeez.
yeah, no, like they literally just put my music online. I mean, I love my label, but I mean, they just put my music online. They don't arrange all the things for me. So everything I've done myself. I arranged all the
Very cool.
shoots, everything myself. So I thought, you know what, that's an interesting story to tell how a DIY artist does it in this day and age because nobody actually knows. I didn't know. I had to figure it out for myself.
Yes, it's one of those things that gets really challenging too. It's not easy. That's not easy.
And it's also, I mean, it's your own self motivation, and no one's asking me to do this. So to keep being my cheerleader, to like be like, come on,
Yeah.
Kat, you can do it. So the vlogs just kind of cover that, the different things that go on in my life, and that's kind of I just thought it might be an interesting thing. To show people that this is how you do it all yourself. I thought maybe someone could learn from it because it's not something I've seen,
Mhm.
or be inspired by it. I mean, my whole thing, especially so I mentioned that I was doing, I did a tour. We filmed the entire tour. We did a documentary, and the whole theme of that
Ooh.
tour is empowerment, doing it all yourself, which was the same message with Wolves. I'm very much getting people to like, go out there and, achieve your
Yeah.
dream, do it, overcome being the underdog, all of that. And so if someone can watch my vlog and be like, hey, if she can do it, I can do it, like she's doing it all on her own, there's no one helping her, then yeah, I mean, obviously I hire people to help me and stuff,
Yeah.
but
No, yeah, I got you.
but you know what I mean. So yeah, it's I just thought it was an interesting story to tell.
It's the same reason why I think a lot of YouTubers too, they switch over to music, but now it's the music people switching over to doing YouTube, because they realize their fans like them and they want to know not just music, they want to know everything. And
Mm,
you're going to build a slow fan base, but once you rock it in, it makes it a foundation of people that you could trust. And then there's the foundation of new people that come in, see if they blend in and stuff like that. And as the radio show, we've experimented with different, communities, stuff like that. I mean, you have to try. It's trial and error, even with everything that you do. And with the music, though, it seems like it's been going that direction where now it's not just the musician. Now you're the promoter. Now you're the, and it drains what originally the song, you write a song and it used to be, I wrote a demo acoustic, you give it to the label, they put you with the band, or if you had a band, they set you up with the recording room, all that kind of stuff. Now it's, okay, what program do I download at home? All right, I have to spend all this money on equipment because studio time is now vintage and acquired by people, and it's so expensive. Even in Connecticut, I've gotten screwed because of studios. Like, it's just too much. Then you can get lucky. You could find people, like I found Fernando Perdomo, who is a fantastic producer and fantastic guy. Frankie Saragusa as well. He is part of our show's history and everything. These guys are great. And they're not expensive, which is amazing. But then I'm like, do I really want to give the song to them? Because I'm like, this is my baby, and you have
mm,
that difficulty. But then I found out, like,
mm,
even with the radio show, half the battle is the like recording and doing it. The other half, which is the most important part, which is harder, is the promotion. And it's draining to sell yourself 24/7.
all the
I've
time.
learned that, but it's worth it in the end because I'm hoping it is. I'm seeing it with your career that it actually is. It seems like you're
Oh,
really happy doing this, which is amazing, which inspires me to keep going too. So it's
oh,
awesome.
thank you. Well, there you go. I got it right. I inspired someone. That's awesome. Thank you.
There, see, your goal is done now. It's over, everybody. It's
Done.
done.
Sorted.
It's over. It's all I wanted was one person. No, I'm classic on saying that myself. Like, if one person listens to my song, then like 10 people listen to it. I'm like, whoa. Then 100 people listen to it, and then I'm like, the next song I release, if it doesn't reach where the last one reaches, I'm upset. I'm like, wait a second. It used to be just one person.
It's one of the best things that happened to me was there was she was actually a radio host, a local one here,
Mm.
and she was disabled. She actually didn't have
Oh wow,
she didn't have past her elbow. Everything
wow,
she did with her elbows. And she was a radio host, and she said to me,
wow.
hearing Wolves, my first single, was so empowering for her because it's an anthem for the underdogs. And she said her whole life, everyone's told her she can't do anything because, she doesn't have forearms. And she said she found that song such an anthem to be like, actually, screw you, I can do it.
Been shot down for the 100th time. I'm done being led astray. You let me down, I'm on the ground while you walk away. So bring the knife to this gunfight. I'll show you how to play. When I'm not down, I get up again, and I always say, throw me to the wolves. Throw me to the wolves. Throw me to the wolves. I return late in the pack. Throw me to the wolves. Throw me to the wolves. Throw me to the wolves. I return late in the pack. Can't get no honey, can't get no country. Nobody wants to love me. I roam this earth all on my own. I do things my own way. So feed the lies, don't waste my time. So come back
And you also wrote that with Mark Hayes, and I wanted to get into that as well. I'm
Hmm.
familiar with a few of Mark Hayes' songs, and he's pretty popular, which is amazing. Tell us about working with him. That must have been a lot of fun on the song Wolves. How did that come about?
My agent booked me to play a show, I thought. I arrived there and found out, no, I was booked into a competition. And I was like, oh,
Oh,
okay. I didn't realize, but all right. And Mark happened to be one of the judges of the competition.
oh,
So I was like, all right, well, I'm going to do it. So I performed that night. And of course, that night, everything on my equipment went wrong.
oh
Everything that
no.
could go wrong went wrong, but I kept going and I kept trying and whatever. And at the end of it, Mark came up to me and he was like, I can see what you're trying to do, but this is some things you should work on if you want to do what you're trying to do. And then he was like, are you working with a producer? And then I was like, no, I'm looking for one. He's like, I'm getting into producing now because you know he's like,
Ah,
he's a big rock artist, but now he's wanting to he wanted to start producing people. So we got talking and we realized that we actually like got along really well and had similar musical tastes and similar sense of humor and all sorts of things. So we were like, actually, we could spend hours in a room together and not kill each other. So
there you
um,
go.
he
You
said to
beat the
me,
Beatles. You beat the Beatles out by that opinion there.
and well, interesting you bring up the Beatles because he said to me, bring me 6 songs and let's see what happens. And Wolves was actually the song I wrote the night before I went to go and see Mark.
Ooh,
Because he was like, I want you to bring something on your cigar box guitar. And so Wolves happened.
cool.
Um, yeah. Also, luckily, someone pissed me off, and that's how Wolves grew. You know, you know how songs go. Someone
Yeah,
pisses
oh
you off, you
yeah,
write a
oh yeah.
song.
I know that experience. Oh yeah, big time. That's the best part of songwriting. You have an amazing experience. You go, "Oh, this was terrible," and then you're like, "Wait, it's a songwriting experience. It's gonna be amazing now."
Exactly. Oh yeah, you know it, you know it. And so yeah, and then Mark and I, it really is like George Martin and the Beatles. You know how he was like the fifth member
Yes.
of the band.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Yeah, Mark is 100% a part of my project. He's completely my musical partner in this. He really he got not only musically got like I'll take him something. I bring him the bones, and then he puts on the meat and the fat and the flesh and all
That's
of
me
that.
with the editor for my blogs, Josh Bradley. Like, I'll write something, and it's like everybody's like, "Oh, you did a great job writing this." And I feel so guilty being like, "Yeah, I wrote this," because at the end of it all, I was just the bones, like you were saying, and he
Mm.
added what made me want to reread what I wrote and love it. Oh, like it's so cool.
You see. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
understand.
100%. So and but it's not just that he guides me career wise, personal life wise. Anything I've got a question on or don't know how to handle,
Mhm.
I can pick up the phone and talk to him, and he's there for me
Nice.
as a mentor. So he's more than just a producer; he's a mentor. He's incredible. I can't speak high enough of him, and he really has supported me. And I mean, he's got a name; he's a big deal. He still goes and shares my stuff, and still goes and talks
That's
about me. You
amazing.
know, he's
And
really
that's
supportive.
rare to find these days too, and it's not as rare, which is beautiful, but it's still rare to find somebody that does that, who doesn't care where they're at in life. They just want to kind of share it and give back
Exactly.
in a sense, but not give back in the sense of, oh, I'm giving back because I can, and being, bragging about it. They're actually just want to do it because it's part of their, like, in their heart to do it, which is such an amazing thing. And in this music field, people forget, I should say, that it's not a competition. It's really not. And the competitions are there for you to grow, and we can win contests and stuff like that. But when it comes
Mhm.
down to music, it's so hard for somebody to get started if everybody's like, you can't play here until you're this, or you can't do this until you're this. But at the same time, I wonder if it also is that drive because of not being able to do that stuff that kind of, I don't know, forces us into becoming those kind of musicians. So I
It's
don't know what it is.
yeah, I really wish part of the community were less gatekeepy about it.
Yeah,
You
yes,
know?
I agree with that. For those that don't know what gatekeeping is, it's exactly what we just described. It's blocking people from, for anybody out there that
Yeah.
watches the show, it's like, what is that?
Yeah.
Hashtag just learned gatekeeping today. But no, it's an interesting field, as it could be very demanding, especially on those that are really creative and put their heart out there too. It becomes, sometimes it's the enemy. You wake up in the morning and go, I don't want to get up today. I'm gonna
Yeah.
just I did, a year's worth of work in 3 weeks. I'm taking this week off, but it's
Yeah.
very rewarding when you can push through that and say, okay, tomorrow I'm going to do this. Scheduling is probably really important too. I wanted to speak about that. How do you go about doing all that you do without burning out? What is the secret, Kat? What is your secret for that?
Wow. Doing this, I did work office jobs and stuff, so I did
Oh,
learn
wow.
some of those skills. I did learn a bit. I was the PA to like theater producers. My
Oh,
my
wow.
my. It's my grounding in theater. That's what it is. I grew up in the theater, went to theater school, all of that. That teaches you, first of all, vocal techniques so that you don't lose your voice eventually,
Mm,
and discipline, practice, and time management. So I'm so lucky that I did start out thinking I was going to go into theater because it's taught me everything that's kept me constantly going. So that's it. Also, prioritizing. So at like 7 o'clock at night, I'm like, okay, I'm going to have my dinner now. I'm going to watch this movie and I'm not going to think about my music career. That's extremely
that's
hard.
hard. Yeah. That's hard for me with
Yeah,
the radio career. It's the same thing where like you think you're good and then all of a sudden you're like, oh God, I just spent 6 hours on something I was supposed to do tomorrow.
exactly. Because the thing, but you have to prioritize because first of
Mhm.
all, then yeah, you will burn out if you don't stop. But also, you become uninspired. There's so many times where I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't write, and why can't I write? Because all I'm thinking about is write. It's like I must go out and live life, do something to
Yes.
then get inspired by. So it's very important as a musician to not forget to go live life and not just get stuck in the practicing and all of that. But the last thing is honestly just love. I love it so
Mhm.
much. I can't, it feeds my soul. If I'm not performing, I'm not happy. So partially, I love it.
Can't get no satisfaction. Can't get no satisfaction. And I try, yeah, I try, and I try, and I try, oh, I try, and I try. And I try, oh, I try, and I try, oh, I try. I can't get no satisfaction, when I'm riding in my car and a man comes on the radio. He's telling me more and more about some useless information supposed to fire my imagination. I can't get no, hey, that's what I say. Push me and then just touch me till I can get my satisfaction. Push me and then just touch me till I can get my satisfaction. Push me and then just touch me till I can get my satisfaction. Push me and then just touch me till I can get my satisfaction. I can't get no satisfaction. Can't get no satisfaction. I can't get no. Hey, that's what I say. When I'm watching my TV and a man comes on to tell me how wet my shirts can be, but he can't be a man 'cause he doesn't smoke the same cigarettes as me. I can't get no. Push me and then just touch me till I can get my satisfaction. When I'm riding around the world and I'm doing this and I'm signing that and I'm trying to meet some girl who tells me better come back, maybe next week I can't get no, 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 no. Hey, that's what I say. I can't get no, no satisfaction. I can't get no, no satisfaction. No satisfaction. No satisfaction. The satisfaction. The satisfaction.
So this, as you would know, is a mandolin.
Yes.
I have no clue how to play it, so I idolize the fact that you can. I think that's amazing.
Thank you.
And this is a banjolin. So half
Really?
half a mandolin, half a banjo. That's quite
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little unique. Oh, geez.
Yeah. Quite interesting. So thought you'd find that interesting.
Yeah, very. I like that.
So I have a little guitar called a guitar lele. It's half a guitar, half a ukulele.
Ooh.
So it's like a uke with 6 strings. So it's got a very
wow.
it's got a very interesting sound. And I was trying my best to write something commercial. I wanted to just write a nice commercial song that I could ensure was going to get on radio, on commercial radio.
It worked.
Well, here, let me tell you a whole story. So,
all right.
so I was trying to write, and then one night in a dream, I was in this part. So when I was writing Halloween, I was making a decision. I was like kind of in this purgatory. I was like, am I going to move somewhere else, or am I going to stay here? What am I going to do? And I wasn't sure. And then I had this whole dream that kind of played out a scenario for me, and I heard the song in the dream.
Ooh.
So I woke up, sang it into my phone quickly, and then went back to sleep. Anyway, and then I ended up writing that song, and that song was kind of a catharsis of like, no, I'm gonna stay. But that song kind of played out a scenario in my head, and it helped me work out a decision. But it was just about a certain time in my life where I was feeling not happy with where I was. I was kind of like waiting around. But anyway, I say I'm a lot.
It's all good. It's all good.
I was looking for comfort, and that song is a very comforting, cozy kind of song. We have done a lo-fi remix of it.
Ooh.
And so that's even more cozy and comforting. If you ever feel a bit down, play that and you'll feel better.
Try to make friends, but it's so complicated. Pretty girls in small rooms, I just can't take it all alone. In a city not my own, so I guess I'll drink up, I guess I'll get going. You've forgotten I'm here, you just don't care, and so I go. I'll go as I walk down the street. There's one thought I'll repeat. I'll be home for Halloween, and it will be you and me. I'll be home for Halloween, and it will be baby you and me. Oh, it will be, baby, you and me. Shops full of books, I don't feel so lonely. A pizza slice, a jack on ice. Everything I do is to get back to you. I've tried so hard, I gotta keep going. I've come so far, it's all I want right next to you. I belong with you as I walk down the street. There's one thought I'll repeat. I'll be home for Halloween, and it will be you and me. I'll be home for Halloween, and it will be, baby, you and me. Oh, it will be, baby, you and me. So keep the faith, keep moving on. Just be true, just be strong. Keep the faith, keep moving on. Just be true, just be strong. I'll be home for Halloween, and it will be you and me. I'll be home for Halloween, it will be, baby, you and me. Oh, it will be, baby, you and me. Oh, it will be, baby, you and me.
We filmed a documentary on my previous tour, which it covers a lot of things. It covers, first of all, being a female artist in this country, which comes with a lot of things, or just being a female artist at all, being DIY, being your own boss. And then, yeah, the motivation to keep going. We all get down. We all have issues. We all have problems. And the motivation to pick yourself up and keep on going. I mean, I cry a lot on the documentary as well. I get insulted and upset, but we keep on going.
And I'm glad
You know?
you're brave enough to show that. I was so moved. I'm not a big Taylor Swift fan, but this year alone, I have become one because I have found something special about her doing what she did in the recent music video of showing the eating disorders and showing things in the rawest form. Because we as a society love to hide things that are blemishes or supposedly blemishes. And to put that all out there, it helps somebody from the younger coming up saying, okay, it's okay to be weird. It's okay to be different. And I really, really appreciate you being brave enough to be able to do that. And I can't wait to see it. I'll share it around. We'll share that around because that's
Thank you
something
so
of that
much.
message. Just show yourself and being like, this is me, and I'm not afraid of me, and that's powerful. That's beyond powerful.
Well,
So
it's
that's
also,
really cool.
but it's also, if you want to, you show a weak moment, it makes someone else feel better because then they're like, oh, I'm not such a screw up, you know?
Right.
Exactly.
Well,
So
that was something
100%.
at the Reject show too. Tyson mentioned like how they got started with All American Rejects, and Tyson brought up kind of the fact that we were just weird guys that couldn't make it in Oklahoma, and look at us now.
Mm.
And it's I feel like musicians were never meant to be where we started. I think life gives you options to view, to learn, and they repetitively make you learn. If you mess up again, it's brutal. It's like life says, I just told you, what are you doing? Here's a slap, and it's brutal. And it's something that I felt like meditation finally was able to access, that like, oh wow, okay, I see where I'm going wrong here. And it's not that it's me, but in a way that I didn't see it, stuff like
So
that. You're able to kind of think about it.
I want to know if you noticed this. So, I mean, I
For
also
sure.
myself meditate. So, like I've got
Sure.
issues myself. And so, I meditate and I notice like sometimes I'll work through a problem or an issue I have, like a deep seated
Yeah.
something. And if it takes journaling or, I do crystals and cards and all sorts of things like that. If I
That's
do
cool too. I love it.
so if I work through it and then I'm like, right, I've worked through this problem. I can face this now. And then life goes, okay, can you? Well, here we go.
Nope,
And
exactly.
And instantly it wants to face you with your thing, and you're like, wait, I'm not ready, actually. It's
I wonder
insane.
if it's because I watched this show. It's called Midnight Gospel on Netflix. I've watched clips from it, and basically it's taken from a podcast that this guy was talking like philosophy, meditation stuff, and all that. And he brought up like the use of like marijuana and stuff like that. Just things that get you out of your realm. Meditation, I think, is similar to those things, and it's natural. And I feel like with me learning from that, I've come to the point where it is basically what happens is, and it could be similar to this experience, is that you're brought up a roller coaster, right? You're going up to the top of the mountain. Now, on the top of the mountain, you see everything. You see all your problems. That's what the mountain is. And you go, okay, I can fix that. I can fix that. Well, all of a sudden, now you're coming down the hill and you're overloaded with the stimulation of being able to fix it, that it's like, okay, goodbye. I can't fix this anymore. And I feel like that's what it is for me. I've actually had times where like I was on vacation and I kind of fell for this girl at the concert that I went to for the Rejects. And I was at an arcade. So then I was at an arcade and I'm lovesick and I'm playing pinball. I'm like, am I in an 80s movie? What is this? I'm having the time of my life trying to score some points. It'll be in the blog that I got coming out.
Nice.
And I'm trying to score these points, like trying just to focus on doing that. And all of a sudden, it was like, okay, I need to like figure out. So my friend's father was into meditation. So he was like, you can use the back porch if you want. I'll set it up for you. I was like, sure, I'll give it a shot. It's kind of cool to meditate in a random place. Is that you see that it actually feels like you're home, which is kind of cool. And I did it. And I was the most serene experience I've ever had. Like it was bigger than what I've done at home. And like this, so it was really cool. And then I realized I wasn't in love. It just like went away. It was because it's those emotions that are so festered in there. But it's so hard. You can't expect anything when going into it. You can't be like, I expect this to be this way. I use a guy, Raphael, somebody. He's Raphael something on YouTube. That really helps. There's probably a ton of Raphaels that do meditation, but he's really good. I'll send you some of the guided stuff I posted.
I love that.
It really, for some reason, it resonated with me because he actually does not just meditation. It's transcendental, so it's kind of like George Harrison, that kind of level.
Okay.
So it's a lot, but it's not. It's just sitting there in silence. You're in just listening for a hum. That's all it is. And it's something to focus on. You let your mind wander and then you kind of cleanse it. But it's really cool. And I've never actually really been able to speak about meditation with people. So appreciate it. That was a fun experience. So we'll add that to the show. We'll put that like Jeb speaks about meditation for 20 minutes to a guest for no reason. But no,
maybe you could have a guided meditation segment. Just make sure that people aren't driving because that would be bad.
Oh, and then he made that's scary. Like you'd be like, hey guys, here's a meditation segment. My voice is very calming. Please don't crash your car. You're gonna crash. Get back in focus. So that's I think I'm gonna use that as the thing in the beginning of the videos. We do like a little clip in. I'll just do that where I'm just screaming and the people be like, what the hell has happened here? But thank you so much. Is there anything you want to share with the viewers before I end today's segment and your interview with us at Unlikely Places? You'll be on again, I'm sure. We'll keep you in contact. I'd love to have you on again. So
thank you. I'd love to come on again. Please go check out my YouTube channel. I've got my vlog series and my music videos, and there's new content all the time. You can check out my Instagram, which is Kat the Performer Music. Or if you're on TikTok, I am shamedly on TikTok, trying to do the TikTok thing. So yeah, please, or if you just go to my website, catmusic.co.za, you'll find everything about me.
Hey, I hope you enjoyed that video you just watched. I'm your host, Vinyl Man Jeb of Unlikely Places Pop and Rock Radio Show here on YouTube and more places as well, Anchor too. Please subscribe to the channel if you really enjoyed it. Send us a like and leave a comment. It's the only way it kind of keeps it in the rotation. We really need the support to get those numbers up because that helps us help you get these great guests and great podcasts your way. As always, I'll see you next time. Signing off, Vinyl Man Jeb.